1991 was a busy year at the community television studio. We met and trained more than 50 new volunteer camera operators, directors, and producers in the greater Newburyport area. We continued our commitment to quality programming in the areas of government, sports, public affairs, and entertainment. Many of our older series continued, and we were introduced to some new ones. Lorraine Thompson produced Making It in Tough Times, a 10-part miniseries on surviving the recession. She and her guests discussed topics from job loss to retraining, and from resume writing to money management. Warren Shumway launched a Mixed Bag, a weekly program that poked fun at life and introduced its viewers to local personalities.
You want to mash that stuff up pretty good, like you're making an omelet. Don't worry about these shells, they add a nice little crunch to it. You don't have any shells or you don't get any in there, you can use potato chips because they work just as good.
Good evening, everyone. Today on Mary May's Makeup Corner, makeup for men. Now, you men may balk at the idea of wearing makeup, but I guarantee a little concealer here or there can improve anyone's complexion. It can transform someone who's not bad looking to someone who could actually be called a stud.
Our next guest, Karen Anderson from Newburyport, who is an entrepreneur, made it all the way to Jeopardy. Karen, thank you very much for being on a Mixed Bag.
You're welcome. Nice to see you.
Tell me, how does someone train for Jeopardy?
You just have a tendency to remember a lot of stuff. And some of it's pertinent and some of it isn't, but it comes out in the show.
Are you a big fan of the game Trivia Pursuit?
Yes.
Yes?
And I always win.
I like it, I like it.
Win.
I remember in that August, when I was 15 years old, and my parents dropping me out. Now, get in mind that my father said,
good luck.
You're not achieving your potential, young man. Like that. I was like, well, what does that mean, Dad? I said, I think you should go to military school. It's like, what?
Another new series that surprised our viewers was Changing Channels, an inside look at the cable industry. Hosted by Continental's management team, Changing Channels educates its subscribers and lets them call in their concerns during the live broadcast. Customer education videos, new product segments, and employee profiles bring our business closer to home.
So if there is an area of our business that you would like more information about, let us know and we'll make the plans. And when we come back, 6-7 weeks from now, we'll discuss that. And we want to answer your questions. Everyone's working and busy, and we're not always here when you're able to reach us. So you call, let us know what it is that you want to know more about, and we'll plan around that.
Well, Changing Channels, this program is designed to talk about everything that is important to our customers, and certainly things that they may not be aware of that are happening, and Choice Cable is a really perfect example of that, but there are other examples of that. There are technical things that are happening within our industry and within Newburyport. There are clearly local programming issues that have cropped up in the short time that I've been with the system, really going back a year and a half now, that are important to talk about. And if our customers have issues that they want to discuss, there's a great opportunity. In fact, when we come back, we're going to be taking your calls, and we're going to talk about anything you care to talk about, and we look to hear from you right after this. Hello and welcome to the program.
Yeah, my question is, now that we don't get the monthly cable guide in the mail, why haven't we seen any reduction in the cable cost?
That's a good question, and I'm going to go in a little bit of detail with that because there's a lot of issues that surround it, and I recently wrote a letter to a subscriber talking about it. But I appreciate your call. I'll answer the question, and if you have any further concerns, you can get back to me. But thanks for the call.
Okay.
We have recently gone through a situation with our cable guide, and let me first be upfront and suggest to all our customers that it wasn't a decision that we entered into with any particular degree of satisfaction or happiness. Essentially what's happened with our cable, let me kind of go back in time a little bit. Our cable guide has always been positioned as a marketing perk of having a cable television subscription with us at Continental. We have not charged for that cable guide. The cable guide has always been free.
And went to all customers.
And went to all customers. Sometime last year, and I think it was June or July of last year, we entered into a situation where we realized through some research that had been done locally and in many other areas around New England that the cable guide was not the primary source of entertainment information. In fact, people were using...
We watch Disney World and the movie channel.
Okay.
What
Movie
services
channel.
are in Choice Cable? He has the Disney Channel?
Yeah, that means you have Choice Cable. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Name one of the products that are on Choice, that's on Choice Cable.
Besides Disney.
Besides Disney. One other service that's on Choice Cable.
Let's see, would that be home box office?
Nope. Nope. Try again.
Come on, hurry up.
Any other channel?
Think
Anyone.
of Larry Bird.
How about Cinemax?
Nope. Any other channel on Choice Cable?
Nessun?
Nope.
Larry
You're getting
Bird.
close. You're getting close.
Oh, gee,
It's just like Nessun. Sounds like Horse Channel.
Nickelodeon?
Nope.
I get either.
Sounds like Horse Channel,
First channel, huh?
but it is.
Give me another clue.
It starts with an S.
Celtics.
Celtics.
That don't start with an S.
No, but no, Celtics is on it.
Let's see.
Horse Channel.
Sports.
Sports Channel. That's right. That's right. We don't have your name and number, so I'm going to put you back on hold, and we'll see. Do you have special event television with us? Do you have the ability to order movies through a box with us?
No, we don't.
Okay. We're gonna give you that for 7 months or 6 months actually.
6.
6 months at no charge, and you can play around with special event television and see if you like it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. I'm gonna put you back on hold. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye. I wanted to remind everyone, Charlotte, as well, we talked about it earlier, is the Community Television Open House, which is going to be Monday, October 7th, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. We invite anyone listening to this program or anyone who catches wind of what's happening that night to come take a look at what community television is all about. This program here is in large part due to the efforts of volunteers. Most of what you see on this channel and other community channels is to do with volunteers, people like yourselves in the community who get involved. They're trained on our equipment, and we invite anyone who has an interest or at one time was involved with us to come down and see us again on Monday, October 7th, 6:30 to 9:30. We'll have refreshments. This is probably as good a time to any to mention that those refreshments will be a product of the new business in our community, Chicken Galore, and more. Our friend Tom Rizzo's and his wife's Marion's new business venture in the community, and I'm told that part of the open house will feature refreshments from Chicken Galore and more. So if that's not enticement enough, my golly, I don't know what is. So come down on that night and be with us. There'll be some videotapes about what community television is all about, and you can get involved that night by talking to the folks that are here, but if not, come down and enjoy what's going to be taking place, and I certainly hope we see some of you folks. We are going to have some special speakers that night. We're going to have David Claridge and Gene Comet, who are going to talk about how schools can use community television and how the community in general can use television, particularly if you're a nonprofit organization. There's a lot of different uses of our product that we invite the community to take advantage of.
That open house was a real success. It gave us the opportunity to meet some new friends and to honor some old ones. That night, we recognized our most valuable community TV volunteers.
On the volunteers who produce the shows and bring us television coverage of the faces and events in your neighborhoods. So Janet will now present the awards and gifts.
Okay, everybody always deserves an award, everybody who does anything for the community television station. But we do have to decide to, limit them a little bit. And, I'm trying not to repeat them too much. So first of all, I'm going to give the bigger awards. This is similar to the awards that we gave last year, the same kind of plaques, and we have a big plaque that goes out in the hallway for everybody to see their names, or the public to see their names. Okay, the people that we do have for the major awards, we have one for the most helpful. And that's gone to somebody that's just been with us for a short time, but he's done a lot. He's been working with Yankee Homecoming, coming down to City Council, doing a whole lot for us. Anytime we need help, Glenn's there to help us. So Glenn Hirochu, he gets most helpful. Okay, the next person's been around for a while. He is the person that makes sure Raleigh sees their town meetings. He also has made sure several Pine Grove school events have made the airwaves, and he is a school committee member for Triton. And Walter has helped us throughout the years a lot, and he deserves the Community Spirit Award for Rowley, because without him, a lot of it wouldn't have happened at all. Congratulations. Okay, the next one has, he did a show called The Mixed Bag. He can't be here since he is now in New York. He's gotten a couple of bit parts in movies, and as his little thing was, he's pursuing his dream. That's what he always used to say on all his shows. So for Warren, we're going to give him a call in New York to see if he's there to accept his award there. If this works. You have won the Continental Cablevision Community TV Award for the Best New Series Host. Are you proud of yourself? Everybody here is looking at you wanting to hear your voice, but I couldn't get it to work.
There he is.
Your face is with the voice of, but we're not getting your voice.
Sorry, I'm accepting my first award.
Okay, and the final one is pretty much why we're all here tonight, to try to get more into the nonprofits that can use the studio here. They're the ones that can get the most use out of it because they have the most people working on the same cause together. So they're the ones that can get enough people together to make the best use of this studio. And the ones that have made the best use of this studio is Opportunity Workshop. And thank you very much. Okay, and now we have, let me see, a couple of extra larger awards. We have these few awards we're giving away for the second time, just because they're here all the time. They help us with everything. It's unbelievable what these three people do to help us in the studio. Either working to help get other people covered, or making sure things get announced. Which is, for the first one is Richie Eaton. We're just going to give him a gift of 2 Celtics tickets here, which they're not in here, but we promise you that they're coming. You're welcome. And for the other 2, there's a couple of people that do a lot of production here. One is on the technical side, and the other one is pretty much helping a lot of the nonprofits get covered. And just doing that extra effort to go out and get them. And we're going to give these 2 these director's chairs, because that's pretty much what they are. The first one is Ralph York. I don't know how you're going to get those out through all the people. I don't know.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do I get to
sit down? Yeah.
George, you better come out here soon.
And the other one is George Woundy.
Coming up, a look at some series programs and other special productions from the Community Television Studio after these messages.
For some people, doing their tax forms by themselves can make them feel like they're climbing the walls.
My full name is, I remember that, Dependence.
If you need help, free tax help is available from IRS-trained volunteers. Find them by calling 1-800-TAX-1040. They'll make your taxes less taxing.
I'm healthy. I have a great family, and I love my work. But I know what it's like to go through tough times, like when my father died a few years ago. But I learned something. When friends gave to the American Cancer Society in Dad's memory, it really helped. It made me feel good to know they cared so much. Now when I give, I know I'm making a real difference to another family.
Just about a year ago, we were at war, and while CNN provided us with live, up-to-date coverage, our community producers looked at Desert Storm on a local level. Continental Cablevision invited families of servicemen and women to videotape messages that we sent to the Persian Gulf.
That's one of the things that the Veterans for Peace, I think, is attempting to do, is to debunk the disinformation that is going on in an intelligent way among ourselves first and in the community at large.
In the Persian Gulf, Saddam Hussein is clearly wrong in what he has done, and he deserves correct punishment for what he has done. I think the Middle East situation is an international responsibility to be dealt with. You cannot kill your own people using chemical warfare. You cannot go in and invade another country and morally and allow that to happen morally. It's an international responsibility we have as a superpower to have some type of presence over there, which I agree with. But I do not believe that George Bush should be escalating towards a war, if at all possible to avoid. I think our presence over there should be primarily to support the international economic blockade and to further a diplomatic solution to this problem. And I think a lot of Americans have misconception about the American popular belief is going over there and defending Saudi Arabian democracy, which does not exist. Saudi Arabia is in fact a monarchy. There are no women's rights over there. They're very intolerant of the soldiers over there. During Christmas time and Hanukkah holidays, the soldiers weren't allowed to have any of their Jewish stars or Christmas trees or anything like that. So I don't think it's worth it to head into a war directly, and I wouldn't support George Bush in such a large escalation and pushing toward the January 5th deadline, but definitely I would keep a strong presence over there and try to hold off into a diplomatic solution as possible.
1991 marked the third year of production for the Triton Group, an issues forum produced by students from Triton Regional High School, and it was the first year for Clipper Magazine, another monthly show produced by students from Newburyport.
Hi, I'm Jabron Graham.
And I'm Johanna Schwartz. Welcome to Clipper Magazine.
Entertainment is part of all of our lives.
And the art program is a significant part in our high school's curriculum.
Here's Malika Siegel with this month's Arts and Entertainment segment.
Hi, I'm Malika Siegel.
And I'm Doug Cross.
Didn't that look like fun?
Hello, I'm Jeff Cross.
And I'm Brett Beauplan.
We are here to cover the NHS sports season.
During the fall season at NHS, there are many sports like
football,
soccer,
cross country,
field hockey,
and last but not least, golf.
This past month, the concert choir students of NHS had the special privilege to go in to see the musical Cats in New York City. Now we have the review.
Hi, this is Colleen Dow here for an inside look.
Hi, I'm Nicole Basti, and I'm going to talk to you today about recycling. Hi, I'm Nicole Basti, and today I'll talk to you about AIDS.
Now let's go to the arts segment.
I'm Evan Hathaway, and this is my co-host, Chris Desario.
Hello, I'm Jeff Baserka, and I'm here with Mr. Gattiano.
Clipper Magazine.
How do you think President Bush has handled the problems in the Gulf?
Come along and listen to the lullaby of Broadway.
For exactly how many years have you been teaching at Newburyport High School?
They had really good beats, and the artist of the group, Pete Nice and MC Search, really had some clever lyrics flow around the mic.
Today I'm going to interview two students who are participating in the 1991 Model UN program.
Right now we're going to go to Clayton and Jamie for the October sports recap.
Hello, I'm Jamie Gagnon.
And I'm Clayton LaForte.
Sarah, what's the name of your character in the play?
This is Miss Lauder, principal here at Newburyport High School. Some students here at NHS don't know anything.
Hi, I'm Natasha Mullins, and I'm here today interviewing Mr. and Mrs. Cole.
Now let's go to Leanne Buscini, Elisa Winter, and Rachel Mullins directly from Color Day 1991.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm Elisa. And I'm Leanne. That's all for now.
See you later.
Hello and welcome to the 16th edition of the Triton Group. Among the topics we will discuss today are Desert Storm, Gorbachev and the Baltic Nations, a constitutional question, and a movie review.
I mean, I'd like to see world peace too, but that doesn't, I'd like to see it more than just about anything at all. But that doesn't mean I deserve a Nobel Prize.
That's true.
While he wants all these good things to happen in the Soviet Union, he hasn't had the guts to make some of the decisions, to say no to certain extremist views.
With all these clashes that happened in Latvia and Lithuania, we do not know the whole story. I've heard mixed reports of how many people died in Latvia. First report I heard 25, then I heard 5, then I heard 4, then I heard 5 again. But then I also heard there were cops who opened fire. It was Latvian police who opened fire on the interior ministry troops, and the interior ministry troops were the ones firing back. Then I heard that the interior ministry troops fired on unarmed policemen. You don't know what to believe. And what happened in Lithuania, no one knows.
Maybe we're beginning to learn about what our actions result in as consequences, and we're learning about our environment and how we can save it, and possibly through this war we can have more freedom.
Lately, school sports have become more competitive. Some people say they've become too competitive. There's peer pressure for the athletes to make the varsity team, and once they make the team, it's really time-consuming and strict. The question that we really need to look at is, are the sports too competitive? I personally don't believe so. It's a part of growing up and part of high school. Competition is a good thing.
I mean, before, where you had the East, you had the West, it was clearly defined, and you had this meeting, the Berlin Wall, the Iron Curtain, as we term it, the good guys, the bad guys, yeah. James Bond versus the evil Soviet spy. Yeah. That's all changed. Things aren't as clearly defined, and we always thought change is going to be good, but now we have this responsibility. What are we going to do with this instability? Are we going to get worse? Is it going to be a worse world over there, or is this a change for the better?
All these athletes, they're earning so much money, and why do they need that much money? Isn't there anything better the sporting places can do with that much money?
The wind would generate power, just like the wind, water power, solar power. I mean, those things are going to be
basically they're going to be around until the human race wipes out. Even, I mean, the sun is obviously going to be there. If the sun wipes out, we're gone.
I mean, I think it's important that we help out anyways what's going on there, because the people need support.
Yeah, but that's only for people that have lost their jobs since March. That's not even half the people that are unemployed right now.
I think we should have woken up on this AIDS thing a long time ago, and I'm sorry it had to take Magic Johnson retiring, who happens to be my personal favorite basketball player, but let's hope it ends on a positive note.
While the Triton group kept us up to date on world issues, the political side took a look at politics in our own backyards. This year we also found a new host, in Newburyport City Clerk, Michael Sullivan.
Good evening and welcome to the political side. My name is Michael Sullivan. I'll be replacing Paul Ferguson. Paul has chosen to move on to other endeavors, and I've taken his spot as host of the show, which you see before every council meeting. We are going to try to change the show a little bit, do a few different things. For example, we will make all of our shows, to the extent that we can, as topical as possible. For example, tonight's show will reflect on the budget, as will the next show of the city for the fiscal '92. In the future, we'll talk about the firehouse and its opening. As we move into election season, we'll deal with some of the candidates who will be running for office in the city. So in that vein, we hope to keep this show in a topical light that keeps people current on what's going on, as well as hopefully tell you a little bit about how things go on in the city and why they go on. Another portion of the show, towards the end of the show, will be a discussion of what is on the agenda that night for the council meeting, so that you will know in advance what to expect and when to expect it. Some things happen early in the council meeting, some things happen late. So along that line, that's what we'll be doing. And the last part of the show, which we're going to try to do, obviously we don't have it today since it's our first show, is sort of a citizen speak out. If you have something that's on your mind and you'd like to talk about it, or it's like an editorial, you can come in here, we'll set it all up, you'll have 3 to 4 to 5 minutes to discuss whatever you think is on your mind and let everybody in the city know what you consider to be the problems, the good things, the editorials of the city. So we hope that you will enjoy the show. We know that Paul did a very good job getting a myriad of guests. We're going to try to follow in his footsteps, change a few things, and make this an even better political side if we can do that.
I've been around Newburyport for almost 20 years now, and as a city planner, very interested and involved in what's been happening downtown. But I think the firehouse is the first project that I'm aware of that has really unified the community. We've had people, old townies, the carpetbaggers, the new yuppies, and all of us, I think, have worked together on this project. And that part is almost more exciting than the physical building itself.
Well, every chairperson has the same feeling that we want to make it the best Yankee homecoming ever. And you try to run your events with some fresh ideas and new faces and whatever. So we know that this year I hope it'll be the biggest and best ever. And I guarantee you that every chairperson after me will have the same feeling. And Yankee homecoming's not going to fall apart. If funding becomes tight, maybe it might get smaller, whatever. But there are a group of very committed people, George Cashman being one, who was the first Yankee homecoming chairperson.
And we were going to get to George. My little cheat sheet here, folks.
George is still very actively involved. I mean, I'm chairperson this year, and I see George at least once a week. He asks me if I have any problems, any help I need. There's a group of very committed individuals that Yankee homecoming will be around for as long as you and I are here, I'm sure.
I always say there are 2 keys to an election: asking for the vote, and then making sure that the person that you ask to vote gets to the polls. Peter has a history of doing that. So I'm guessing that Peter's going to get 3,100 votes no matter what happens. That's pretty much his history over the last 3 elections. One year he was down only 2,700, but he's right around 3,000, 3,100. I think the key is how many votes Jack Bradshaw can get out.
We have with us the city clerk who's been counting the votes. Mike, what's going on with Ward 1?
Right now, not very much. The machine that we use to count the votes. First of all, let me tell you, I thought I should come up, and everybody's sitting at home waiting and wondering, at least give you an explanation. The Board of Registrars and I are not happy campers tonight, and the machine that we use is, the best word we can use is balking, and it is very difficult for the machine to take the ballots. I don't know the reason. It's done this in the past. It's inconsistent. but I didn't want anyone to think that we were out there, you know, goofing around down there. We're doing the best we can. We've run the ballots through. The numbers are not, the last time we ran them through, the ballot box number and the paperwork from the ward was about 30 ballots off from what the computer said. So we're in the process, and we do not total, we just get a ballot number of cards going through. We don't get results. We don't print the result card. We flushed the system, and we're in the process right now of putting the ballots through to count them again. And when what we run is a valid card. It tells us the number of computer cards that have gone through. If they match up or significantly close, we will use it, but I will not use it when it's 30 off. The Board of Registrars and I don't want to jeopardize, you know, I mean, it's very, very close, and both candidates deserve our best effort, which unfortunately right now is not the way we'd like it to be, but as soon as it's done, it's done. We're as concerned as you are. I'd love to go home. You know, I normally am, I was trying to think of how to make light of the situation on the way up, because I'm someone who likes to joke around a little bit, but frankly, there is nothing funny tonight, and we just have to do what we have to do and keep doing it till we get it right. And we hope that, you know, both candidates in the mayoral race and all the other candidates in the other races, especially the poor Ward 1 candidates who've been waiting patiently, will just bear with us a little bit longer.
If we are to continue to move forward as a community, we must all work together for the good of Newburyport. I call on every resident, once again, to join me in that effort. In closing, I want everyone to know that, as always, my door remains open to all, not only to stop by and say hello or to resolve a problem, but for suggestions and ideas for better ways of doing things. We all know we have a great city. I'm going to repeat that. We all know we have a great city. Working together, we can make it even a greater one. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year.
Coming up next, a look at more special events and programs from the past year. We'll take a look at the Lend a Hand auction, Yankee Homecoming, The Young at Heart, A Taste of Ireland, and a lot more when we return.
If you're sick of seeing the same old people doing the same old thing on Channel 3, don't blame us. Blame yourself. We won't do it for you, but we'll teach you everything you need to know to do it yourself. Find out how. Call 462-1353.
Natural gas is a big convenience for all of us, but there are some important things you should know about it. In the unlikely event that you smell it, don't light a match. Don't turn any lights on or off. Don't do anything that might cause a spark. Call the gas company from a neighbor's phone and don't go back. Tell your family what to do too. Remember, natural gas is as safe as any other energy source. This message brought to you as a public service by your gas company and this station.
The Chamber of Commerce supports the efforts of Opportunity Workshop. They contribute to our community tremendously in helping the disabled residents within our city. We hope you will join the Chamber of Commerce in helping them help themselves by making a contribution to the Lend a Hand auction this year. It's their 10th anniversary, and we hope you will help them make it a success. Thank you very much.
The Young at Heart began its second year of production in 1991, and the crew of volunteer seniors introduced us to some new people and ideas. Here are some highlights from those shows produced in '91.
Now back on your right and you're back on your left.
Ooh, did I do it all right?
All dancing you did, cab driver. Aren't you smart? Give yourself a
Well,
hand.
can we play cab driver?
Yes,
definitely. Oh, this is good. You know, I tried to talk Our great engineer that's on the job today, Tom O'Rourke, is also the director of the show. And he said he doesn't qualify because he's too young to be doing this sort of stuff.
Well,
they
that's
do the,
wrong.
you know, this.
Well, we can do it too.
Oh, you can. We got to. This show is a clean show, so we got to keep it that
Put it
way.
up a little louder. The first
We're going to try this, and if I make a mistake, please.
and a right together step, touch, left, and a right, and a left, now step and touch, a right, a left, right and a left, go, forward on your right, forward on your left, now back on your right, and back on your left, go to your right, and a left, and a right, and a left, step and touch, right, left, right and a left. Go forward on your right, forward on your left. Back
How am I
on
doing?
your right. Oh, you're right, Ralph. And a right. And a left.
Woo! Look, man, I'm dancing.
Woo! Woohoo! Now step and touch. 2, 3, and 4. See what you're missing, Tom? And 2.
Very simple, Tom.
And a back. And a right. Now go to your right. And a left.
Oh, this is fun.
Bob, you were a pretty good friend of Errol Flynn's, I heard. Is this correct?
Well,
there's a story I've heard for years, and I'd like you to tell it about Errol Flynn and John Barrymore. Well, you know, we both know that they're deceased, but there's a little story with John Huston and what have you. And
I did the last thing that Errol Flynn did. He taped the skeleton show, and about a month later he died. But when he was in his heyday, he was very friendly with John Barrymore, and he bought Barrymore's house. And when Barrymore died, Flynn was at the funeral and all. Some of his friends, including Mickey Rooney, took Barrymore's body, brought it back to Flynn's house, sat in an easy chair with a drink in his hand. And Flynn came in about dusk and had no lights on. He sat down. All of a sudden, he looks across the room, and there's Barrymore, and he nearly died himself.
I had the pleasure many times of introducing you in the marathonings. But you mentioned 1937.
Yes.
Was the first time. Do you recall where you come in on that race?
About 25th, I think.
25th.
But in those days, 50 was a big field. So I was in the middle somewhere, and my thoughts weren't of winning or anything like that. In fact, I never entertained too much winning. I never had any natural ability. Any ability I had to work. I had to work to get it. In other words, it's like money in the bank. The more you train, the better you run.
There's another thing I'd like to bring out about Ed, and I say this very humbly. Ed is very modest. And, you know, of all of the runners in the country and locally, and we've got some great ones around here, I've had an opportunity over the years to meet many runners like yourself. The unusual part of this gentleman is that Ed is, well, let me put it another way. You're willing to share what you do, how you do it, how you train with others. And there are a few marathoners that are reluctant to help one another. The winning is everything with them. And Ed, you're not in that category. You may not be a winner in all the races that you run over the years, but certainly you've contributed a great deal to marathoning.
We've moved around a little bit, and again, Steve Bradbury, and Steve is in an authentic uniform of the day in those days. I must remark, Steve, that in addition to all the equipment that our soldiers carried in those days, plus the clothing for summer and winter, what have you, would you explain to us a little bit about, well, for example, that beautiful coat that you have on, if that's the proper...
Right. Okay, it's a regimental jacket, that long coat, great coat, and it wasn't the first issue of the war. Normally, you'd come in with either militia clothes, home clothes. That's with the siege of Boston. Everybody was coming together, and of course the American Army was quite small at the time. And this would be one of the predominant ones that the woodmen would wear. This could be in butternut, green, mostly it was in white. It was the frock, and that was acceptable into the Army at the very early stages. Then later on, midway through the war, the French was passing out what we call lottery clothes. And you'd be lucky, you didn't know what you were going to get for color, but if they had a bunch of clothes they sent over in a ship like that, your regiment got them, you were happy.
Could I just say white isn't my color, or if I were back living in I'd say, I'm sorry, but I'm pale to begin with, so I'd like something bright.
Well, if you would be coming in from your home with that would be an actual hunting jacket that you may be out bear hunting or deer hunting or whatever, and that would be the predominant, what they accepted because they could make them on the home front.
By the way, we could be used as Hollywood models at this time, too. Yeah. They put me in this thing, and this is still Ralph Ayers, this is still the Young at Heart program.
Now, Dick, that was your idea. You wanted to build this yacht, and you wanted to sail the rest of your life wherever you might want to go. How about Phyllis? Phyllis, what is your you must have had some influence here.
I never stopped him. He always had his boats.
But when he told you, Phyllis, darling, when I get this ship all done, you and I are going to sail wherever we want to sail. Did you think that was a great idea?
Yeah, I think so.
How did you find this girl, Dick?
Well, he went to the country to find me.
Yeah.
I never knew water and ocean existed. Never.
But you got accustomed to it pretty fast now, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. But he must have, in your prenuptial arrangements, as they call it, you must have said, Dick, you must have said to Phyllis, Phyllis, if you marry me, I want to tell you that down the road sometime I'm going to build a boat and you're going to live on it and you're going to spend the rest of your life with me on it. Is that the way it worked?
No, sure. No. Okay, Cade Mila Falce, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of what we hope to be a regular feature of Newburyport Cable Systems, and that is 100,000 welcomes. And my name is Jack Leary. I'm here along with our other two co-hosts, who are
Fran Frizzell and
Tom O'Hearn on Sundays.
Sure.
All right. For years now, in fact, it's been 6 years now, we three have been appearing on radio every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. until 12 noon. And we're not going to stop.
Ireland. And this evening, we have a very special show. We're down here at Jury's Irish Pub and Grill on Market Street in Lynn. And I have two gentlemen with me now who have been entertaining us the entire evening so far. We have George Landers and Tom Hendrick.
See by your gravestone you were only 19 when you joined the dead heroes in 1915. Well, I hope you died well and I hope you died clean. Or young Willie McBride, was it slow and obscene? Change raise the flag in England, or be prepared to fight or die. Bury me in Mayo, or beneath the Irish sky. Take me home to Mayo, across the Irish Sea. Home at last in Mayo, where once I roamed so free.
Said I'm an Irishman. I've travelled east, I've travelled west, I've roamed from town to town. I cut the harvest up in Clare, met people up and down. Wherever I went, the welcome mat was always waiting me. So fill your glass along with me and sing old Ireland free.
I've sailed the stormy seven seas, I've sailed before the mast, and on every voyage I ever made, I swore it would be my last. So we'll sing farewell to Carlingford and farewell to Greenore, and I'll think of you
Produced by Ralph York and George Woundy, A Taste of Ireland has become one of our longest-running monthly programs, bringing us the music and traditions of the Irish community. This year, George and Ralph decided to broadcast live and invite viewers to call in musical requests from their homes. Not all of our producers create series of programs, and we'd like to end our year in review with a look at some special events and single shows.
Wipe out.
In the viewing area know Benny Richard. And if they don't, they're going to know more about him than what they did before this show.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm PJ Finn, and welcome to Port Opinion, the show that gives you a chance to voice your views and to hear the views of your neighbor.
Soviet Union. Our first question, Dr. Mayer, is, as we know recently, Mikhail Gorbachev accepted the premise of a united Germany within NATO. That was something that was expected. Chancellor Helmut Kohl from Germany and Mikhail Gorbachev had negotiated that. What kind of impact do you think?
Here we go. The 29th annual Yankee Homecoming 10-mile road race is underway. We just saw Rick Baker go by with his blue shorts on there.
If that's not inspiration for your team, I've never seen it.
Oh, Rubber Ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun. Rubber Ducky, I'm awfully fond of you. Bo-bo-bo-dee-o, Rubber Ducky, joy of joy. When I squeeze you, you make noise. Rubber Ducky, you're my very best friend, it's true.
And there we go, everybody. Missile Line Traffic, Newburyport, 1990. Contestant number 1, Andrea Bordo, everybody. Woo! Okay, we'll do the victory walk here. Contestant number 1, everybody.
Come on, Rick.
What's just slip in your bag?
And great uniforms, guys. Great uniforms. This is the most colorful band we've seen, Rich.
Essex County, rich in history, beauty beyond imagination, energetic with ideas and change, yet strong in reason. Discover the splendor of your community and share it with your neighbors through the Community Access Television Studio of Continental Cablevision. Free workshops on camera operation and portable equipment are available to anyone living or working in the communities that we serve. West Newbury, Newburyport, Newbury and Byfield, Rowley, and Ipswich. Help us create programs for your community. Call Tom or Janet at 462-1353 and ask about our workshops.